ghost of a girl whose father was an Englishman and brought her to Chatham House in a desperate attempt to destroy her romance with a commoner. Her lover followed her to America, and the two planned to run away together. Their plans were discovered, the boy arrested, and the girl quickly taken back to England. The girl vowed to return to Chatham Manor to find the boy she loved. She was first seen wandering the path on June 21st, 1790, the day she died, and is rumored to return every 7 years on the anniversary of her death.
Aww.
Oh.
So that's interesting. The Japanese, who have, like, suicide is a thing in their society. So, Japan has a documented. I'm not going to follow suicide, but it is a thing. And because of that, they kind of got thoughtful as a culture. And there is a Japanese ghost called, but if lovers commit suicide together, they essentially become tied together and become the battle victim. Like ghosts forever hooked together and argue throughout. Yeah, it's especially a thing with young, like Romeo and Juliet types. Like, it's never going to work out for us. Oh my God! And they commit suicide in their afterlife. They find out how much they can do another. Forever in ghost. Yes.
Yeah.
And why do you have to bring up Paradise Hotel for like 5 years?
I think the ghost too. That's why I brought it up.
So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Japanese culture is fast. Not all of it is for. I was going to say all of it is for clean consumption. Because they have some stuff they would do. And that's fine. As a culture, they're good with it. There's a lot of fruity Americans that would want to deal with it. Quite frankly, it doesn't have a place. So, next we're going to talk about Emily. Legend has it that the girl named Emily was
Why do people do that? You didn't grow up. Duty's not working.
I don't know, but was reported. What's that? Road pipe. But that makes sense. One, again, I would love it if nobody who listens to this episode ever. I would like it if people just stop doing it. But let me distract you. Call somebody, a friend, call us, call the helpline, call somebody, make sense of yourself. But so let's bring that back. But it does make sense because someone is that heavily emotional moment, leaving something behind. That makes sense. That powerful emotional moment creating consciousness that when this way should do. So now we're going to talk about the Casablanca. Now this takes place in a widowed innkeeper fell in love with his lover. The neighbors with local alcohol in the U.S. So, the innkeeper walked on a short fence, saw several agents, told, wait for him, and his lover, and his friend. Still reports now that I like. No suicide, no murder, just this. Now goes John Cesar. Well, it's yeah. So Thomas Rowe was such a Rowe eventually returned to America and later on her deathbed, she was when Rowe built the gun,
I think that's my favorite one so far here.
yeah, it's my favorite because I like the idea that love influenced this one. Servants were open. This takes place in 1790. Servants were on the Hannah, selling drugs, sailor woman.
Alright, so, Hannah and Taylor.
Right. Servant girl named Hannah on the sailor woman. That. Spotted the broken-hearted Hannah rocking in chairs, opening windows, and walking up and down the stairs waiting for her sailor to return.
Well, that's sad.
That's sad, and while I cannot stress how much I am anti-suicide, and I really want you to get help if it's something you're thinking about. This
Yes.
one I can kind of see. And the only reason I can see it was a different time and a different place, and a serving girl didn't have a lot of prospects.
True, but
I still say I still say wrong. Don't get me. I still say absolutely wrong. I'm just saying I can kind of see
the feeling of hopelessness and
yes,
overwhelming sadness. Sure.
Right. Again, there's other sailors. One might have stayed. That's all.
Fair enough.
Now, this last ghost story comes from Tiverton Castle.
Ooh, a castle.
Yep. The best-known ghost story from Tiverton Castle dates back to the 17th century when the governor of the castle was Sir Hugh Spencer, a widower whose 21-year-old daughter, Alice, was considered one of the great beauties of the district. Alice had many admirers, but her father considered it his duty to ensure she married only the wealthiest of them. He chose as his future son-in-law Sir Charles Trevor, an immensely wealthy man, several years Alice's senior, who was renowned for his violent temper and sour disposition.
What? Why?
That sounds dangerous.
Because money.
Did somebody forget to tell the dad that was the...
Because money, and back in the day, your daughter was a marketable commodity. I'm so glad we don't do that anymore.
Agreed.
Agreed, very much.
But the manager of Tiverton Castle, a man named Maurice Fortescue, had fallen in love with the girl. However, knowing that her father would never consider him worthy, he kept his feelings to himself. It so happened that Sir Charles Trevor came to suspect Maurice's love for his fiancée, and this, coupled with his envy of Fortescue's good looks, universal popularity, and sunny disposition, caused resentment to burn within him. Determined to spite his adversary, he moved to marry Alice as quickly as possible, after which he was determined to flaunt her before Fortescue and laugh in his face. Because he's such a nice guy, apparently.
Right.
No.
Yeah, that's true. That's one way to put it.
If that's what you want to believe.
As he approached Tiverton Castle, he pictured the hurt his wedding would cause his rival, and letting out a whoop of joy, the dastardly Sir Charles hurled his hat into the air in jubilation. At that moment, Maurice Fortescue's faithful hound, Vulcan, bounded from the castle, and having seized hold of the hat, playfully shook it to pieces. Enraged, Sir Charles drew his sword and slew the dog upon the spot.
Oh, no!
That's sad.
Charles is a real jerk.
Yeah, he is.
Within moments, Maurice, who had been following a little way behind, let out a howl of indignation, rushed up to Sir Charles, and floored him with a well-aimed punch. The slighted fiancé demanded satisfaction and told Fortescue to meet him in the woods near the river at 7 that evening. Maurice was no coward, but Sir Charles Trevor was a renowned swordsman, and he knew that his skills would be no match in their duel. Because, you were so slighted, you needed to stab somebody.
Stabby bab bab.
Realizing that his days were numbered, he went to bid Alice farewell and finally told her of the secret love he harbored for her. It came as little solace when she burst into tears and told him she felt the same way towards him. As he left, she swore that if he were killed, then her heart would die with him. At 7 o'clock that evening, Sir Charles Trevor and Maurice Fortescue faced each other on the wooded banks of the rain-swelled River Exe. E-X-E, or Exe. I don't know. Moments later, the clash of steel echoed through the woods as the two men fought for their honor and their lives. Maurice succeeded in drawing the first blood, inflicting a wound on his rival's arm. But moments later, he was dead, Sir Charles' sword protruding from his neck. Laughing triumphantly, the victor placed a contemptuous boot in his adversary's throat, and having removed his sword, kicked the lifeless body into the river. Suddenly, a howl of despair sounded from the direction of the castle, and Alice, who had been watching the duel from the walls, came running to the river, and when she followed her lover into its raging waters. Ever since, when the Exe is in a flood, their ghosts, closely followed by the faithful Vulcan, are said to walk together in the woods at the foot of Tiverton Castle.
Aww.
Alice and Maurice walk arm in arm, chatting happily, delighted to have found in death the unity that was denied them in life.
Aww.
And they got a puppy.
They got a puppy.
So, and again, I'm gonna. I want to talk about a movie. The movie's called The Hunted. It stars Liam Neeson and Joan Chen. Liam Neeson is a businessman, and he meets Joan Chen in a bar, and she takes him upstairs and kind of rocks his world. And while he's there sleeping with her after they've done their thing, she is killed by a mob assassin. And the rest of the movie, this assassin is going after Liam Neeson's character. Or wait, it might not be Liam Neeson. It might be Christopher, what is his name? The guy that played